All right, all right, all right. All right, all right, all right. Let's go ahead and get this kicked off. Um, this is a test this morning. So I am going to ask you guys if how this is going. I'm particularly more concerned about the audio. So we are doing our inner circle crypto talk. I am actually, because I'm testing this, I am doing it live everywhere this morning. Normally the inner circle crypto talk is just for the inner circle, but I am testing out combining Zoom and StreamYard together to see if this will work. It had no problem doing it before, but last night, oh, it was great. I had some issues last night. So thank you guys for being here. If you are on Facebook at all as well, let me know if you are hearing any issues, with any problems with the audio on Facebook. Comments. That's what I see. Is there. All right, pull that one up, guys. Alan says, I sound muffled. Eric Wright says, you can't hear me. I hear myself. All right, on the Zoom side, let's test this out real quick on the Zoom side. Yeah, Zoom side is fine, but let's turn off this. One second. I want to make sure that I get Facebook all clear. So that's what Nettie did. But I need Facebook to be clear as well. So that's very StreamYard. Stop sharing there. Let's do this again. So let me do it. Not sharing. StreamYard. Testing, testing, testing. You're right. It is muffled. Not it. It is muffled. Not it. All right, let's close my settings. Yeah, I know, I know. I'm testing this out. How about now? It might sound a little better now. And let me do that echo cancellation. I don't know what they changed up because we didn't have this problem before. Much better? All right. So I know, hey, you guys are my guinea pigs this morning. So I told you guys last night I want to make sure that this is fine. What about on the Zoom side? We still coming good on the audio on the Zoom side? Stan T says loud and clear on the Zoom side. Facebook says loud and clear. I think I solved it. I think we are good and ready to go. So tonight, for when we do day 2, now wait, oh, there's one last test. I've got to share screen. And so let me share screen and make sure that this is still all good. Share screen. All right. So on the Facebook side, now that I'm sharing screen, just do one more test. Are we all good? Let me know if we're all good on the Facebook side. Zoom, I know Zoom's all good. Yeah, you're not going to you can see me on the share screen. Oh yeah, my background. What's up with that? Hold up. Yeah, because I was messing around last night. Take that take that off. There we go. All right. So sound is good on Facebook. Sound is good on Zoom. You guys can see my screen, and we're good to go. Whoo! Talk about going through it last night. But we're good to go. All right. Welcome, everybody. This is Early Morning Crypto Talk. Bitcoin Brandon from Los Angeles, California. Thank you for taking time out of your schedule for being here. We are in test mode right now. One day only. I am streaming our Inner Circle Crypto Talk out to the world because I am practicing. A couple of things is we have people that requested that if I can also do our Inner Circle Crypto Talk, not just in the private group, but also on a private Zoom, because not everybody has access to Facebook, or you're moving around or whatever, and so being on Zoom is more convenient for some people. So we are testing that out as well. Ultimately, I will be moving this platform to a podcast style platform when I'm ready. But right now, just to experiment, because I like to have all these different Facebook groups and everything going on, and YouTube and Twitter all at the same time. In fact, last night when we were doing day one, we were also in the metaverse. We were in the metaverse, a 5-day challenge in the metaverse. I like that. Thank you guys for being a part of that. And I hope you, even though it was funny last night, I hope you learned something new. You know, a lot of good nuggets were shared with Mr. Byron Nelson last night. Tonight we have up Mr. Ken Lockhart and Javon Ridley. You've never heard from Javon Ridley before, but you'll hear from him tonight. Young man, I believe he's only maybe 26 years old, and I have no doubt he will be a multimillionaire by the time he's 30, because he's in the crypto space. It's inevitable. Let's get this mic out the way so make sure this doesn't. There we go. And we're going to be talking about blockchain. And tonight, for the first time ever in the last 8 months, I am also going to stream tonight's day 2 live for everybody, since I messed up last night. So I don't like to leave people hanging like that. So we're going to give another sneak peek tonight live. But if you want to be a VIP, you know, if you want to be on the Zoom side, you still got to be a VIP to be able to ask questions and interact. The others are just going to be looking through the window and being able to see what's going on. So today, let's go ahead and cover what's going on in the crypto space. There is a lot happening that I need to pay attention to. In fact, we all need to pay attention to. Let me share screen on this side as well. Okay, and let's pull up. Let's pull up and see what is going on in the crypto space. And someone asked, Brandon, why are you all doom and gloom about crypto? And no, I am not doom and gloom. I look at the facts, figure out what's going to be taking place, and then react to it. So right now, we are still in the wild, wild west of the crypto world. Oh, and I forgot to even do this. Go ahead, type in the chat box where you're listening in from. Since I got multiple things going on, I didn't recognize you guys, but I just want to say good morning. As a disclaimer, I am not a licensed financial advisor to be giving financial advice. I read the news, give information, share information that is important and relevant, and it is up to you to make your own informed, intelligent decision on which direction you want to move to in this space. So, crypto, we're still in the wild, wild west of crypto. We're still in the wild, wild west. And what that means is, wait, yeah, I am sharing screen. Okay, we're good. I was confusing myself for a second. So we're still in the wild, wild west, completely unregulated space. So we've got to be careful about the things that we do. how we operate, how we move our money, and anticipate the future. You're not going to be able to predict, but at least anticipate what's going to happen so that we can prepare for it. So I see you, Javon. Yeah, we got Javon up tonight. You ready, man? You're up. So right now there's 12,921 coins out there. It used to be over 13,000. 554 exchanges. It used to be more than 600. Market cap is at 1 trillion, up 1.9% in the last 24 hours. Bitcoin dominance is at 38.3%. Ethereum is at 18.3%. And this number will change. You guys saw the crypto talk from yesterday, what Raoul Pal talked about. He's looking at this being a $200 trillion industry. I say if he fails by 90%, this will be a $20 trillion industry. You know what? I'll even say if he fails by 95%, it's still a $10 trillion industry. The highest it's ever gone so far is 3.2 trillion. So we're talking about more than tripling the entire market. Does that mean there's room for you to carve out your niche, your fortune? Absolutely. We're still in these so early stages, but a storm is coming. Winter is coming, like they say on Game of Thrones, and it is going to be devastating short term. Devastating short term. A couple of things that I believe will, there's three things that can cause all of this, and maybe all at the same time. One is an entire worldwide economic collapse that's going to take place, greater than the Great Recession or a Great Depression. The second is the untethering of Tether, because Tether is tied to the US dollar 1-to-1. And I believe this is bogus. I do not believe they've got $67 billion in reserve assets to back up anybody purchasing the Tether tokens. I don't believe it. Just like I don't believe the United States government has enough gold that we think they have. Ever since the US dollar got pulled off the gold standard, I don't believe it. Can I prove it right now? No, I can't prove either. So I'm not stating a fact. I'm stating my own opinion. And I will differentiate between the two. I will let you know if I'm stating a fact or if I'm stating an opinion, because I'm not always right. So that means just because it may be my belief doesn't mean that's got to be your belief. This is where your education will let you know how to move. You don't have to believe the same thing. However, when it comes to facts, facts are the same. You may interpret it different. Some people see a 6 while another person sees a 9 staring at the same thing. It's still that number. It's just what side of the fence are you standing on. But I will, if I'm ever going to be stating my opinion, I will let you know that. So it is, in my opinion, 1, a worldwide economic collapse, 2, untethering of Tether. And then the third thing is global worldwide regulation from all the governments and the banks unanimously at the same time on crypto. The one that will be leading the way will be the United States, because the rest of the world follows what the U.S. does. And the U.S. is still controlling the world's top dollar money. This is the world's money. Whether they like it or not, it doesn't matter. It is since World War II, and that's not changing anytime soon. But they are making efforts to change that reality, to change the economic playing field by different countries like Russia and China and Iran trying to create their own digital currency, or their own Pan-Asian trading bloc, where they don't need to use US dollars, so that they can avoid sanctions. They can avoid US economic blowback if they don't do what we want them to do. So if the entire globe decides that they feel Bitcoin or crypto is a threat, and the governments decide we are going to regulate it, then we're going to see like the dot-com bubble burst. You're going to see all of this stuff is going to get wiped out. Most of these coins Most of these exchanges, we read in Crypto Talk yesterday that governments are already clamping down on exchanges. The United States, they just clamped down on 5 businesses that were claiming to be FDIC insured, including the exchange FTX. Korea just clamped down on all foreign exchanges in Korea that they need to be regulated. Now, the United States already did that. So Korea is now following what the United States did several years ago. But does that mean it's a bad thing? No. It is actually a good thing. You mean, what? Brandon, how can you say that? Wiping out the whole crypto industry is a good thing? Yes, because it now takes the wild, wild west and makes it more mainstream. So by making it mainstream, we've got the regulations, we got the rules. Now we know what we're dealing with. And the legitimate opportunities that are not trying to be scams, that are not trying to be doing things the wrong way, will follow the rules. And that means that our investments and our projects will be more secure than it is right now. Now, how will we survive this? Education. Being a part of ILCA will kind of make you prepare for this, because I guarantee you're not hearing what I say from most of the people out there making a whole lot of money in crypto. They don't even know it. But being a part of communities like this, where we can kind of forecast, we can kind of see what's going on, what's taking place, and how to move. So when we look at projects to be a part of, and let me say this, and again, I'm speaking to the people in the back who don't like to say anything to me directly. Let me say this. ILCA is not a network marketing company. It is not an MLM company. It is not designed to compete with any other programs out there. It is not stealing anybody's downline or cross-recruiting anybody. We are not selling any physical products. We're not selling on trading bots. We are not selling nodes. We're not selling mining machines. We're not selling coins. We are selling crypto education. Crypto education, picks and shovels. We understand that if you focus on the education first, you're arming yourself to be prepared to maneuver in this shark-infested ocean called crypto, where there are underwater landmines, we would call it, all over the place. There is a plethora of opportunities. The mistake people make is focusing on businesses inside of crypto first. And then you learn by losing money. And then you go back, oh, I don't want to do that again, but you've already lost. And then you decide, yeah, you know what? I think I need to get crypto educated. No. If you focus on the education first, you will be able to tell which opportunities you want to be a part of. Now, in ILCA, we will not be promoting network marketing or MLM companies. But because you're part of the inner circle, you will be exposed to investing opportunities and projects. And that means tokens, coins, NFTs, metaverse, all the different ways that you can earn money in crypto without being a part of certain opportunities that's about recruiting. So anything that I speak on that is other ways that you're earning money out through ILCA, listening to us, the focus has been and always will be on the project, the coin, going on the exchange, that type of stuff. Not let's recruit to build a big team. And if you hear anybody say otherwise, they're not being truthful or they just don't understand. I have to act kind of like Switzerland. I retired from the network marketing world to get into crypto because I want to let my money work for me. I can go and recruit for any business. And we are having success stories with individuals who are part of the ILCA community. And they listen to our inner circle like I'm doing for you guys right now for the open community. And you're hearing about different opportunities. Like one that we brought back up in February, we have individuals that's going to earn anywhere between $500 to 7 figures because they got it from ILCA. Not recruiting, but the project. So I want to make that very clear so that there's no misunderstandings. And if you don't understand that's how we operate, you don't have to be a part of ILCA Inner Circle. That's why it's called the Inner Circle. It's okay. It's only $29 a month. Go spend that on HBO Max to watch Game of Thrones and freaking Disney Plus. Well, they about to drop something new too coming out, right? Andor? Yeah, go spend it on that. Go spend it on your entertainment. If you don't want to learn how you can take the knowledge and information. See, the courses and everything, the 5-day challenge, that teaches you. The inner circle is the application of the knowledge that you're learning out there in the real crypto world. I got to say that more often. Let me get that one down there. The ILCA, the courses, the 5-day challenge, the founding members, all of that is the learning. The inner circle is the application of that learning, the applied knowledge, the day-to-day stuff. All right, everybody, if you understand that, type me in the chat box. I want to make sure that's clear. So that means that yes, we will be taking advantage of projects that have something of value that we can make money on. Now, saying that, some of these projects have affiliates attached to them. In fact, there is no system out there that doesn't. Every single thing has affiliates out there. So if you want to take advantage of the affiliate side, by all means do so. But that is not the focus of ILCA and our inner circle. So I just hope I make that point very clear. Everybody understands. And I invite those of you that are not in the inner circle, you want to be a part of this. You never know what you're going to get or what we're going to find. People have made 6 figures already from the information that we discover and we get into. And it happens over and over and over again. Priceless information. Okay, so just looking at this, I just had to get that out. Looking at this, the market is down 1.9%. Bitcoin is at 21,500, up 1.2%. You know what? I made a mistake yesterday. The mistake I made was I didn't take action. I said a crypto talk yesterday morning that I had money sitting in on. Somebody asked about USDC, right? Was that you, Sue? Let me see. What did Sue say? Will it affect USDC? No, it's only going to affect Tether. USDC is going to benefit from that. The reason why USDC is actually audited, unlike Tether. So I would suggest if you are playing the Tether game, play the Tether game in the USDC coin. So I moved all the stuff I was doing with Tether to USDC. That stable coin. Okay. Oh, and I will say this too, since these names were brought up. Programs that you might have heard about inside of the inner circle from WCL, TOAX, Nugent, was there G Meta. Again, for every single one, G Meta, Metaverse. This is about the coin. It's not even a network marketing company. WCL, is. But I joined them because they hired me to teach them crypto education. And I, seeing what they're doing, like the project that they're working on. I could care less about the affiliate side and recruiting. Then you got TOAX. I was a part of TOAX before I created ILCA because I thought that what they were creating had some value, some merit. And how can you go wrong with charities? Whether they can pull it off or not is up to them. But it was good enough for me to say, all right, I'll drop $1,000 and see what happens. Nugent, there is no network marketing. There is no recruiting. It's all about the coin, the token. All right. Next is, let's see what the last 24 hours we got pretty red. So here's the mistake I made. Yesterday, I had money in USDC. And I said, at the end of Crypto Talk, we're going to go in and we're going to make a purchase. Remember I said that yesterday? And I was looking at what tokens. Ethereum was one, Solana was another, and Sandbox was it. Remember those three we looked at yesterday? Decentraland. Where is it? There it is. I forgot to do that and got caught up in a busy day. It was Monday. You know how things are. It got busy, on the phone constantly, different meetings, doing this and that. For my kids' first day at school, getting ready for the 5-day challenge. Wasn't even able to take my afternoon nap. I missed that. And then everything went crazy with technology last night. And not only did I do the 5-day challenge, but I also do a training for WCL on Monday nights after that. So my night didn't finish until, I don't know, maybe 9 or so. Then I watched my wrestling and went to sleep. So had I made that move, I would have made 2.1%. Well, that's 3% on Sandbox if I did that. Or Solana, I would have made 3.9% on Solana. Or Ethereum, I would have made 4.2%. So even though I didn't physically do the move, we caught it yesterday. Some of you guys probably did make some moves yesterday. Only reason why I didn't, I just got caught up. But had I made the move, I would have made 4.2% in the last 24 hours. Now, look at that compared to people trying to get a part of companies that's guaranteeing 1% or 2%. When you've got crypto education, you can always beat the bots. And you don't got to pay them any extra fee or worry about them running off with your money. If you learn these skills yourself, you're a walking ATM machine. What was it, 2 weeks ago? We were doing Crypto Talk. We found one coin. I had no intention on getting it, but based on the information that we saw, I got it and it went up 140 something percent in 3 days. And then I sold it and it dropped. And then I bought back in and it went up. And then I sold it and it dropped. You buy low, you sell high. And we've been playing that game ever since. Now, this morning, I'm not going to open up my wallets. Again, that is just for the inner circle only. I think I did it one time last Saturday on the open up. But for the inner circle, we will look at our wallets. I'm not going to make any moves today. Something's telling me to just chill. Just stay still and observe. Don't be chasing the rabbit. So I'm going to wait till tomorrow morning. Then we're going to reset and we're going to look at the markets again. We're going to look at the charts because the Dow was doing some funny stuff yesterday. Dropped 600 something percent. And then we're going to see the news from today in the crypto world. We're going to see how that is also impacting. And wait, let me get this off of the screen. Here, so you guys can see. This is the inner circle comments. Okay. Best performers in the last 24 hours was Chili's, 21.8% in 24 hours, but it's up 19.9% in the last 7 days. So why did this pop up in 24 hours? What if I had got Chili's yesterday, up 21%? CRV, ooh, really? What if I made a move on CRV yesterday? Up 16.3%. Lido Dow up 13.1. Cosmos Hub 12.8. Anybody in the inner circle, did you guys make any moves yesterday when we were talking about this? I'm curious. Anybody make any moves? Bitcoin Cash is up 10.9. BitDAO's up 10.2. Near Protocols up 8.1. Osmosis 7.5. Synthetics Network 7.4. EOS 7%. The Graph is up 6.6. Wave 6.6. So the last 24 hours has been pretty good. Good bounce back. The worst performers, Celsius Networks down 10.5. And that's it. Frax negative 0.3. So the entire crypto market cap, this number should actually be higher than it is at 1.9%. Let me do another quick refresh. Sometimes CoinGecko be showing some funny numbers. Let's do this again. The best performers, yeah. Yeah, all right, that's accurate. So a lot of this could have been from the stable coins. People pulled their money out of the stable coins and moved it back. Yep. So here's another trick. Anytime you see the stable coins in red, that means people are moving their money out of the stable coins and putting it back into the market. Anytime you see that in green, then you see people are moving money out of the market and putting it into the stable coins. So I see both stable coins is in the red. So people are pulling out right now and trying to get back in to ride this wave up. So I'm gonna stay chill on this and not do anything. All right, so let's take a look at some of the news. And I saw some interesting profiles. And if you're brand new, just so you know, I don't read the news before we do crypto talk. I read it for the first time with you guys. And I ain't gonna lie, I got hyped yesterday. When we were reading Raoul Pal, he was saying the same thing, and he came to the same conclusions that I did. So I got excited because he's a multi-billionaire. So that just lets me know we're on the right path. Okay. So this one here. Where's my other phone? These people are trying to talk to me while I'm on Crypto Talk. Make sure I'm not missing anything. Michael Pendleton said it sounds really bad on YouTube. Well, we should be good now. And Michael, let me know now, because the YouTube volume should be the same as Facebook. And I think we got that straightened out. You guys haven't complained yet. Okay. I like that, Fallon. Education is key in this space. Yes, and do you guys know what Miss Fallon did? This is why I love our community. Fallon brought a token to the community. One of our members took action on that token and made 6 figures off of it in 3 weeks. You never know. All right. 97% of U.S. executives surveyed are bracing for recession. I tell you right now, we're already in a recession. Whether they want to label it that way or not, I'm acting as if it's already here. A survey by the New York Stock Exchange listed Stifel Financial shows that most executives are bracing for a recession in the U.S. In addition, 53% of respondents believe that inflation will be an issue for the next 2 quarters to a year. Really? The next 2 quarters. So we're now coming up on the fourth quarter. So we're looking at October, November, December, January, February, March. 6 months to a year. So are we prepared for that? Most executive surveyed says recession cannot be avoided. Stifel Financial Corp announced the results of a survey it conducted on the state of the U.S. economy last week. So a reason why this is important is a lot of people are listening to the news, and they're trying to gauge what's happening by what the news say. And unfortunately, the news today is so polarized. Depending on whatever channel you're looking at, you're going to get something. If I'm watching, if there's either left wing media. Hold on. I can't do that. Ouch. Leave. All right, I attempted to pull up StreamYard on my other screen so that I can see your guys' comments, and nah, computer said nope. I got to pull it up on a different computer to do that. All right, like I told you guys, I'm experimenting today. Okay, so instead of listening to the polarized news about what the economy is doing, you take a survey like this and you listen to the CEOs of all the companies. How are they feeling? They're the ones making the decisions. So the St. Louis headquartered financial services company surveyed 70 corporate executives, business owners, and private equity investors between July 18th and August 5th. Nearly all respondents believe the U.S. economy is either already in a recession, 18%, that I fall in that category. Hey, wait a minute. 70 corporate, I'm a CEO. I fall in that corporation. Or will face one within the next 18 months. 79% say that. Noting that 3% think the U.S. economy will avoid a recession entirely. The firm added that inflation and the tight U.S. labor market represent the two biggest perceived threats to business today. Moreover, 53% of respondents believe that inflation will be an issue for the next 2 quarters to a year, with another 43% expecting elevated prices to persist for even longer. So are you guys getting yourselves prepared for this winter that's going to last a whole year at least? According to them, maybe at best 6 months, but they're all looking at for a whole nother year. What can you do to recession proof yourself? And whenever people ask me, Brandon, what's the answer to recession? My answer is simple. I can't control the politicians. I can't control the government. I can't control, geopolitics and economic numbers and the Federal Reserve. I have no say-so on any of that. But I believe what Jim Rome says. Build a financial wall around your family so high that nothing can penetrate it. In other words, make more money. Make more money. And for someone that's working a 9-to-5 job, they're like, that's easier said than done. I live on a fixed income. I'm paycheck to paycheck. I'm 1 month away from being on the street. What are you talking about? Make more money. That's why you want to be an entrepreneur. You ever heard that book, Think and Grow Rich? See, as an entrepreneur, you think, all right, where else could I do to raise some money, to make some money? I love that freedom that we can just look and say, all right, in the next 2 or 3 months, I need to be doing this to generate $50,000, $100,000, $200,000. What do I need to do to make that happen? So I'm not pigeonholed in just the rat race, where my only options is maybe I can get a raise, maybe get another job, or win the lottery. You have options as an entrepreneur. Meanwhile, half of the survey respondents are very concerned about inflation. An overwhelming majority, 81%, are primarily passing rising costs onto consumers instead of absorbing costs and profit margins, cutting overhead, or changing suppliers. So here's the thing about this. Even though there's recessions and things going on, the businesses don't eat that. They don't eat into their profits. They raise your prices. Or they'll do something else. I forgot what they call this. But let's say you got a bag of chips and you're used to that bag being filled up. And then all of a sudden you go to the store and realize, oh, wait a minute, either the bag got smaller or they put less amount of chips in the bag. Anybody can type that, what they call that for me? I forgot what that's called. But all of a sudden, the products that you're buying, you pay the same amount of money, but you're getting less than what you used to pay for. So, or they'll raise the price and give you less. That's how the businesses do it. The stockholders, the shareholders aren't eating that up. We are. Many analysts, economists, and executives have shared their thoughts on whether the U.S. economy will be in a recession. Last week, JP Morgan CEO Jamie Dimon warned that something worse than a recession could be coming. Yeah, that's inflation, but there's something else, Fallon, that the opposite of inflation, where the business will just put less product in the packaging. And you're paying the same amount of money, or they still raise the price on you. I forgot what they call that, but last week, JP Morgan CEO Jamie Dimon warned that something worse than a recession could be coming. What could be worse than a recession? Depression? Tesla CEO Elon Musk recently said that inflation has peaked, but we will have a recession that could last 18 months. Bank of America has predicted that the U.S. will slide into a recession this year. I want a quick look at Jamie Dimon more closely here. Warns something worse than a recession could be coming. This was August 15th. How did I miss this article here? There are storm clouds. Whoa! Isn't that what I said? I said there's a storm coming. There are storm clouds, the executive said, citing interest rates, QT, oil, Ukraine, war, and China. Okay, we're going to read that next. Let me finish this article. I'm going to come back to that. President Joe Biden said earlier this month that the U.S. economy had zero inflation. That's not true. In July, his statement followed an attempt by his administration to redefine the technical definition of a recession. Okay, based on his redefining the definition, that is correct. However, when you pull the microscope back and look at the macro, that is incorrect. It had zero inflation month to month, meaning from June to July, but it's not the case from year to year. You look at July 2021 as opposed to July 2022, that's still what, 9-10%? What he did was said, well, just like what Trump tried to do, alternative facts. Well, if we look at it from June to July, then there was zero inflation. Oh, come on now. But there are people out there that are not, thank you, Herschel, shrinkflation, that's what it's called. There are people out there that don't have any type of critical thinking and will believe whatever their leader says, regardless of what they say, no matter how right or wrong, whatever they say is gold. This is why I say education is important. Don't be that way in the crypto space, where you're following somebody based on whatever they say. Ooh, coffee. Thank you. Be able to use your own education to figure things out that's best for you. That's cool. That's not in the way. Okay. So Jamie Dimon, JP Morgan's chairman and chief executive officer Jamie Dimon reportedly shared his predictions about where the U.S. economy is headed during a client call last week. While noting that the U.S. economy is strong, with consumers' balance sheets and businesses in good shape, Bill Bonner says America's nightmare winter. Hey, Gina. Uh, uh, While noting that the U.S. economy is strong with consumers' balance sheets and businesses in good shape, the executive emphasized that you have to think differently. Look at the word he's using there. He didn't say you have to work differently. He said you have to think differently. What did Mr. Nelson talk about last night? You guys listened to it day one last night. He said it all matters here. You have to think differently when forecasting. The JP Morgan chief described what is out there. There are storm clouds, rates, QT, oil, Ukraine, war, China. Diamond shared, if I had to put odds, soft landing 10%, harder landing, mild recession 20 to 30%, he added. Hard recession 20 to 30%, and maybe something worse at 20 to 30%. What could be worse? It is a bad mistake to say, here is my single point forecast, he clarified. His predictions echoed what he said in June when he warned that an economic hurricane is coming. Notice the adjectives that they use. Storm, hurricane. That analogy, that means that's bad, is coming our way. He advised investors to brace themselves. So, what should you be doing? Bracing yourself. While Diamond sees a possibility of something worse than a recession, he stressed during a recent visit to JP Morgan Chase's Olneyville bank branch, whatever the future brings, JP Morgan is prepared. One thing that the wealthy do, when the economy is good, they make money. When the economy is bad, they make more money. Did you catch that? That's why they stay wealthy from generation to generation to generation. Various analysts have predicted that the U.S. economy could be in a recession this year. Oh, wait, did I finish this? Bank of America head of U.S. economics Michael Gappin told Fox Business Monday that there is a high chance of a mild recession this year. He expects the Federal Reserve to inadvertently trigger a downturn with its war on inflation. This cycle probably ends a mild downturn. How do I come to that? It's basically just history. It's really hard to achieve a soft landing. Goldman Sachs economist David Miracle detailed in a client note Sunday, our broad conclusion is that there is a feasible but difficult path to a soft landing, though several factors beyond the Fed's control can ease or complicate that path and raise or lower the odds of success. So they're not even debating on whether or not it's going to happen. They're debating on how hard is it going to be. Will it be a soft one? Will it be hard? Will it be something worse? So we have to be prepared as well. How is that going to impact the crypto space? What about this one here? Facebook and Twitter will soon be obsolete thanks to blockchain technology. And what perfect, because what is our topic tonight? Day 2 of the People's Money Challenge is blockchain technology. What is it? I say all the time, blockchain technology is going to disrupt every emphasize that every is going to disrupt every single industry on the planet today, whether you like it or not. Trust it, believe in it, understand it. It doesn't matter. Your opinion is irrelevant. This is going to happen. Now, if blockchain makes Facebook and Twitter obsolete, the question we as investors need to ask is what will be the new platform and how can we invest in it? How many of you would have loved to be there at the beginning of Facebook and Twitter and had an opportunity to purchase stock? Knowing what you know now, not a single one of you will say, not me. Every single one of you would, knowing what you know now. But what is going to make this different? What is going to make people move off of Facebook and Twitter? They're going to go somewhere. So what we have to figure out is forecast, where are they going to go and how can I be positioned to get a piece of that? I already have ideas. With blockchain technology, it's going to be metaverse type stuff. Or a new social media platform based on blockchain technology that's not controlled by a single entity like Mark Zuckerberg. On Web 2, Twitter and Facebook, users do not own their own content or followers. That isn't the case on Web 3, where our corporate overseers will become powerless. Today's social media landscape is dominated by Web 2 corporations, mostly Meta, Facebook, and Twitter. The companies collect data from billions of users and collect billions of dollars in revenue from user-generated content. While it's great for the corporations and their shareholders, it comes at a cost for avid users and professional content creators. But in the near future, decentralized social media, or Web 3, is likely to end that old model by giving power back to the users. How about you owning your own data? No more evicting unruly users. Because platforms such as Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter are centralized, users are at the mercy of company bosses who demand compliance with their platform policies. If users fail to comply, they can lose content and followers they spent years building up in just a matter of seconds. Okay, first and foremost, in a democracy, in capitalism, a private business can do whatever the hell they want to do according to the law, as long as they are lawful. So this is not an attack on free speech. It is a private business, not the public government domain. So that means if they don't like you, they can remove you. You can cry all you want about it. That's just how it is. It's their company. But what the blockchain, and I have said this before, represents ultimate freedom. The blockchain represents what America was supposed to be all about. We the people, not you the company. We the people, decentralized. But there are some questions about that. Let me continue reading this and I'm going to say why. A famous example is Twitter's ban on former President Donald Trump. While you may debate Trump's views, and I will not, see, one thing, I try to walk a fine line when it comes to politics and religion, and when I'm broadcasting, because people lose their excuse my language, but they lose their shit over this stuff. There is no debating somebody whose mind is already set. No matter how many facts you put on them, if their mind is set, there will always be an excuse to keep what they want to believe. People will believe, there's the old saying, when the mind is right, facts don't matter. What matters is how a person feels and believes at the end of the day. Doesn't matter if it's actually right or wrong. That's the reality. So I do not get into debates. I do not. It's a waste of my time. I spent all of 2020 doing that. Those of you who were following me back then, all over social media. Now I refuse to, because I'm at a point in my life I don't need to prove if I'm right and you're wrong. How many times have you ever been able to change somebody's mind because of what you posted on social media? Or you changed somebody's mind because you spent 4 hours debating with them? That's not putting money in my pocket. That's a waste of my time. I refuse to get into that. But some things can be unavoidable. Only time things get brought up is if it's because of crypto talk like this. I didn't write this article, but I have a couple of comments on this. And again, I will try to walk that middle line, as not to offend either side. So a famous example is Twitter's ban on former President Donald Trump. While you may debate Trump's views, the decision by Twitter management did not include millions of Twitter users who make the platform so valuable. It showed how little control Web 2 users hold over Twitter's decisions related to their content, even though they are the ones creating value for the company. Again, like I said, I'm gonna put devil's advocate in a second. The beauty of Web3: corporate bosses will no longer be able to dictate who is allowed to use their platforms. Another problem with Web2 social networks: walled gardens. Another problem with Web2 social media is that it has been characterized by walled gardens. If you have 1 million followers on Instagram and want to start an account on YouTube, you need to start with 0 followers. There is no way to move your audience over because they are connected to the individual platform and not to you. That applies even to platforms owned by the same company, such as Facebook and Instagram. Web3 introduces solutions to reduce the number of intermediaries, create an open ecosystem, enable new forms of monetization, and give individuals more power, not only over their content, but also over their followers. Okay, now I'm going to play devil's advocate. I'm going to ask some questions, and we're going to see if this article addresses any of that. Here's the devil's advocate. Even though we have free speech in America, there are some things you just can't do. You can't go into a crowded building and yell fire, or in a movie theater and yell fire. You can't go on social media and promote pedophilia because that's your thing. You can't go on social media for free speech and try to, I don't want to use that word because that's going to trigger some of you guys. What's the word I want to use? Advocate for violence against somebody else as a threat. You're going to get the FBI knocking on your door. You can't go on social media and talk about your fetish that you might be doing on the dark web, the black markets. And I don't even like when they call it the black market, the dark web. Like, anything dark is bad. But you know what I mean. You can't be doing anti-Semitism all over social media and not. So you guys see where I'm going with this? There's freedom of speech, but where do we draw the line? A person has a right to be racist. That's their belief. They don't have the right to practice that belief to harm somebody else. That's where they cross the line. So if there's a social media platform that allows all the races to gather together and run their mouths about how the Jews will not replace us and all that other bullshit, they can do that. But if they use that same social media to try to organize to bring harm to somebody else, that's not allowed. You guys understand? You're following me with this? Everybody's pretty quiet right now. Or are you? Because I am not looking at the... hold on one second. Come on, where are you? I know I'm sharing screen. Oh, because I'm sharing screen. Hold on, I got to take a quick glance. Come on. All right, it's not going to let me. So I don't know outside of I don't know if you guys are speaking about it, but I hope I'm making sense here, and you see where I'm going with this. So the platforms have guardrails to prevent. If you remove those guardrails and you've got a system where it is basically you can say and do whatever the hell you want, as good as that is for an individual, what about those that are saying and doing things that it is completely I don't want to just use the word disgusting, but you now have a platform where people can use to spout violence, racism, pedophilia, child trafficking, drugs, let's overthrow. I mean, how do you police that? Or should you? Should it be they're allowed to be out there and do what they want to do and say what they want to say, and nobody can do anything about it? Should that be allowed? I'm just asking the question. I actually don't have, and I hate normally, I don't ask a question I don't have an answer to. But on this, I'm still developing my answer. It's in flux. So let's see what this article, what else they say here. Multiple platforms have launched what may supplant the social media industry on Web 2. They include the Avi team's Lens protocol and the Andreessen Horowitz-backed Deso. Both are built to host decentralized social media apps. They already have numerous live applications, including Lenster, Favor, Iris, decentralized Twitter, and LensTube, decentralized YouTube. How do they work? Well, with Lens, for example, users can utilize an NFT to link their content and followers directly to a cryptocurrency wallet. That means zero dependencies on the individual platform because they hold cross-platform access to their followers. That's interesting. If a user posts something, it's automatically shared across all platforms they use. Oh, I like that. And because of their followers are linked across platforms, they have the same number of followers on every platform. If a new platform emerges, users do not have to build their audience all over again. In Web 2 terms, it's like having an account linked directly to the internet instead of one link to Facebook's closed ecosystem. Oh, I love that. That is a very, very good idea. How to do that. You know that old saying, your money is in your list. People who make the most money got the biggest lists. All right, your money is in your list. Direct user monetization instead of advertisements. So instead of everybody else making money off of your content, what about you making money off of your own content? Another feature of Web3 social media is that rather than generating revenue from advertising, users have the ability to monetize their work directly. The model incentivizes users to publish much better content. It's simplified by allowing creators to set a fee for collecting their posts or to set a fee for following them. The revenue then flows directly to the creator, not to the platform. I like that. Influencers will accelerate adoption. Some critics argue that Web 2 social media has such a head start that it will be impossible for Web 3 social to catch up. No, it will not. It will happen faster than you think. But the reality, I mean, imagine this. How many of you guys had a MySpace account? Type me in the chat box if you had MySpace back in the day. I forgot the founder's name. Was it Dave or whatever? Where his photo is him looking back with a stupid smile on his face and a t-shirt on. He sold MySpace for $500 million. I remember it was all about MySpace. Before that, no, there really wasn't anything really before that. And then how fast did it take for people to jump from MySpace to Facebook? No, it didn't take too long for that to happen. So I think when we start seeing something with the blockchain, it's going to happen much, much faster. Do you guys, I mean, MySpace is technically still up. How many of you guys still log into it or utilize it? There's always going to be something new. My kids think that Facebook is for old people. Like my youngest son, he thinks Facebook for old. I still don't understand the stuff that because it's not even the TikTok, Snapchat. What's this other stuff that they use? He uses like I'm still on YouTube stuff. He uses something different. Where I was watching him the other day, and a group of them were watching some other kid playing a video game. And not only were they chatting on the chat screen, but he had the microphone and he's talking at the same time. And first I was like, who are you talking to? Because you might be talking to somebody. You don't know who you're talking to on the other end. You may have an avatar of a little girl and it's a 60-year-old man. So I'm always checking that. Who are you interacting with on social media? But I didn't even recognize the dashboard he was using. And he had multiple screens and stuff going. And I was like, what in the world's going on? And then I'm like, why are you sitting there watching somebody play a game when you got the game yourself? See, I'm a Nintendo kid. We used to fight over those stupid controllers. I don't want to watch somebody else play. Give me the mic. Give me the controller. But they socialize on a completely different level now, where even Facebook is seen as old. So there are already many examples of prominent influencers who have their own social media platforms because the corporate platforms would not allow them to share their content anymore. Web3 offers an obvious solution for the growing number of those who have been banned from Web2. All right, now let me explain this in a way that my mom can understand. And I will say, if I had this conversation with my mom, I will say, Mom, here's what Web3, what's going on here, what they're trying to do. Before 9/11, you had the FBI, the CIA, the DEA, the Coast Guard, Secret Service. What agencies am I missing here? IRS. I'm talking about law enforcement agencies in the United States. I think there was like 10 of them, all independent. And after the 9/11 report came out, they found that they had, there you go, the DOJ, thank you, Patty. They had enough information that 9/11 could have been prevented. If you took the data that each agency already had and you put it together, it painted a clear picture. Not only were they able to tell when it was going to happen, they knew who was going to be doing it. The different agencies were watching all of these individuals separately. So the solution was to create the Department of Homeland Security. And the Department of Homeland Security is there to organize and combine all the information from these independent agencies into one report that then goes to the Pentagon and to the president and the all that, how that the hierarchy works. So Web3 is doing the same thing. It's like we were going to combine all of these social media platforms. Instead of being separate, it's going to be one. It's like you just have one account to the entire internet. And everything you do is attached to your avatar. If I explain it to my kid plays PlayStation and Xbox, and there's something that's called gamer tags. Like, you've got, like, I was watching Top Gun, and what's his call sign? Maverick, Goose, Rooster. So in the gaming world, you have a call sign. I have one. I have one that I've had since before my kid was born. And my gamer tag is Satakan, spelled Sattakan. And that is, I'm going to say the nerd in me. It is an Elvish word that translates into Brandon Ivy, my name. And that's my gamer tag I've had, I don't know, 15, 20 years. So every game I play has that same tag. But since I'm connected to like the Sony network, all of their games, when you log into PlayStation, your gamer tag pops up on every game, and your friends can follow you on all your games and things that's going on. So you can see what games your friends are playing, and it's call it cross-platform, even if somebody is on Xbox and PlayStation and PC. So same thing that's taken place with this Web3, your identity will be yours. So anything you do on the blockchain will be attached directly to you. So it's not like you're going to have a separate account on YouTube and then a separate account on Twitter and then a separate account on Instagram using different names and emails. It's all just one. Does that make sense to everybody? Okay. So now, there are already many examples of prominent influencers who have their own social media platforms because the corporate platforms would not allow them to share their content anymore. Web3 offers an obvious solution for the growing number of those who have been banned from Web2. Now, what this is not addressing is why an individual would have been banned. There's when you talk about freedom of expression and freedom of speech, there's got to be a limit somewhere. If somebody gets banned for speaking about or sharing a view that you don't like, you cheer that ban. But what if somebody gets banned that shares the same view and opinion of you? Then you're going to scream you're being censored. Since in the United States, we no longer are operating on a shared understanding of facts. This is the start of a breakdown in society. If you don't have a baseline sharing of facts, then you have a fractured, you're not united anymore. Do you know why history is called his story? History is written by the winners. That doesn't mean history, as you're reading it, is accurate. And sometimes you don't want to know the truth. The truth can be too painful. So you revise history for yourself, and everybody else sees it that way. I'm going to give you one common sense. And even though I say this, some of you out there are still not going to get it. But Western history is based on a European viewpoint of discovery. We discovered land. The land was already here. The land already had hundreds of millions of people on it. What if we read history from their point of view? Would it be the same story? They're both talking about the same event, but it's a difference of viewpoints. Just like you looking at a 6 and somebody else opposite to you is looking at a 9. But what makes a country cohesive is that everybody has, that's what the Constitution is for, that we have a baseline set of understanding of the facts, and then we can decide based on the facts how you want to believe, moving forward. But the sky will always still be blue. In America right now, the sky is not blue for everybody. For some people, the sky is green. And if some people are looking at the sky as green and others are looking at it blue, there's no debate. You're not operating from the same foundation. So if you leave it open that anybody that can create their own content without consequence, maybe that's the word, consequence or reaction or response, anarchy exists. I remember political science back in college. They talked about having a society. If you want a complete free society, there are no safeguards. You allow people to do what they do, and it's an open market. If somebody is doing or saying something that is not good, then people won't buy from them. People won't listen to them, and they will be put off into obscurity. But you let the ecosystem allow that to take place. You give everybody an equal voice, no matter how vile and disgusting it may be. That's the anarchy side of it. But a society cannot operate like that. There's got to be certain rules and things in place. Thank you, Brenda. Accountability, not just consequences, accountability for your actions. Today we have people that want to have no accountability for their actions. None. And if you attempt to hold somebody accountable for their actions, you're seen as evil. We're at a time in America where Americans see each other as the enemy as opposed to anybody else outside. That's how Rome fell, always from within. But I'm looking at the whole blockchain. Blockchain does represent freedom, but how far are we willing to allow that to go? Providing ownership over the content, their own content and followers, easy ways to generate revenue from their work, connecting it all with the easy to use NFTs. What is there to complain about? Blockchain technology is bringing us a social media space that rewards users, not platforms. That is good. I like that. And it's better than any we've dreamed of in the past. That is true. But I've got concerns. I've got questions. How will this be addressed? How will it be policed? What will be allowed? Donald Trump created Truth Social because he felt that he was being silenced on Twitter and was banned on Twitter. And again, it depends on who you talk to say, was it justified or not? Those who support Donald Trump say it was absolutely not justified. He should be allowed to say and share whatever the hell he wants, because at the end of the day, facts don't matter. It's only about what you believe. And if you believe you're being silenced for your personal beliefs and opinions, you feel you are being victimized, so you create something where you have that open platform. But then at that same time, if you create your new platform and somebody is on your platform disagreeing with you and saying something you don't agree with, you're going to ban them from yours. Goes both ways. But then we cross a line with, is free speech allowed to condone hatred, violence over another individual or group? Should that also be allowed? Again, for those who aren't victimized, they don't see a problem because they've never had to live with it. But should they still be silenced? One last article and then we'll go, or maybe I may end on that one. What's this last article? All I'm doing is posing the questions. I am not putting my own personal beliefs on anybody. I try to walk that fine line here. Crypto trader. Oh, yes, yes. Crypto trader doubles portfolio in a month, betting against Jim Cramer. You know, I learned back in the day, it was 2017 when I was learning how to trade. And I was taught whatever the media says, like if you listen to Fox Business, Yahoo Finance, Jim Cramer, whatever, do the opposite. And if you did the opposite, you would win 90% of the time. I was taught that in 2017. By the time the media is talking about something, do the opposite. Cramer is known for giving his investment expertise as the host of CNBC's Mad Money, but has developed a reputation in the crypto community for missing the mark. Twitter famous crypto trader AllGod has brought a smile to the community after announcing he's doubled his inverse Cramer portfolio in just a month by simply inverse trading against CNBC's Mad Money host Jim Cramer. In his latest tweet on Monday, the trader who became famous on Twitter for preempting the fall of Terra's collapse earlier this year said he has just flipped to a long position on his inverse Jim Cramer account following a bearish tweet from Cramer about the state of the NASDAQ. AllGod says, was a bit late, but flipped long on the Cramer account. Jim bearish on NASDAQ is good indicator for crypto. Trade on decentralized derivatives here. Jim Cramer said, how low does NASDAQ want to go based on nothing other than the usual pressures of Fed commodities earnings? When the market goes down on nothing new, the sellers are too aggressive. You must let them sell and get out of their way. So he just did the opposite. Earlier the same day, AllGod announced the inverse Cramer account had officially doubled for the first time, reaching a net value of $101,000, up from a starting amount of $51,000 on July 19th, when he used 35 Ether as collateral. According to his latest tweet, AllGod's inverse account shows $97,000 in net value, representing a whopping 88.47% return on his initial investment. He did that in 30 days. AllGod reiterates, however, that none of this is financial advice. Jim Cramer is a former hedge fund manager who hosts CNBC's Mad Money. He is well known in the finance world, but some of the crypto community believe it may be wiser to bet against his crypto and stock picks. The inverse Cramer has become something of a meme after a movement started on Reddit and Twitter, pushing a simple idea. If Cramer says to sell a stock, buy. If he recommends buying a stock, sell. There is also an inverse Cramer ETF Twitter account with over 84,900 followers, which is tracking the stock recommendations of Jim Cramer so that you can do the opposite. It's like, how does he have a job if he's always wrong? Some people work a 9-to-5 job. I simply just counter trade Cramer. It's not much but honest work. AllGod has become well known within the crypto space following a $1 million bet between him and Terraform Labs CEO Do Kwon, in which AllGod claimed that in 1 year, the price of Luna would fall below its current price of $88 starting from March 14th. Less than 2 months later, LUNC Luna fell from its all-time high of over $120 to just 84 cents. Okay, here's a couple of reasons. Jim Cramer has a huge audience. So when he says something and his audience base does what he says, then as an outsider, you do the opposite, because by the time he says it, it's already too late. Now, if this starts to get big, this counter trade Kramer, then it's going to become null and void at some point. But this counter trade Kramer is not as big an audience as the people who actually follow Jim Cramer. So it can still work for now. All right. Just do the opposite. If the media, if I turn on the news and I see the media is running their mouth about, oh, everybody's buying crypto, I'm selling. All right. And then when the media says, oh, crypto's crashing, it's going, I'm buying. Do the opposite. All right, let me stop sharing screen. There. All right, everybody. That is it for Crypto Talk for the day. I hope you learned something new. Tonight is night 2 of the 5-day challenge, and I used this as a test. And since we messed up last night, I will do it public tonight. One time only. It's the first time out of 8 months I've ever done day 2 live for the public. However, if you want to be able to ask questions and be on Zoom, then you've got to be a VIP member. For one time, $97. And for those of you who want to be in the inner circle, you just got a taste of kind of what we covered. It's $29.97 a month. You want to go back to whoever invited you. They can give you a link. And if you don't have that, you go to ilcasecrets.com. ilcasecrets.com and register. $29.97. It is not a lot of money. People are out there charging $1,000 a month for this type of information. $29.97. You get in the inner circle and be a part of our talks each day. I'm going to sit still today, but tomorrow morning we'll just be in the inner circle. We stream it live in our inner circle Facebook group, and we have a private Zoom link for those in the inner circle. I'm looking at probably making some moves, financial moves in crypto based on what the market's looking like. I didn't do it yesterday, and I lost 4% because I didn't move. So I want to see what's going to be happening tomorrow. So with that, I'll see you guys all tonight in our day 2, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. We've got Javon Ridley and we've got Ken Lockhart up tonight. Come on out and hear their stories. Bitcoin Brandon out. Enjoy your day, everybody. Bye-bye.